Resistance levels, support zones, breakouts, and price ceilings. If you've ever looked at a stock, crypto, or Forex chart, you've probably watched a price shoot upward, hit an invisible wall, and violently bounce back down. It can feel like the market is rigged against you, especially if you bought right at the top before the crash. In this video, I'm going to explain what a resistance level actually is in a super simple, practical, and complete way. We'll start with what resistance really means on a fundamental level, then go over the exact market psychology that creates these invisible walls, how to properly identify and draw resistance on any chart, why resistance is actually a zone rather than a thin line, what happens during a breakout when resistance flips into support, the difference between static, sloping, and dynamic resistance, and most importantly, how traders use it to make smarter decisions while avoiding three costly beginner mistakes. So please give me 10 minutes, and I'll give you the technical foundation that takes most beginners months of costly trading mistakes to figure out. Before looking at complex charts and technical indicators, let's establish a simple mental model. Imagine you are inside a two-story house bouncing a basketball. When you push the ball down, it hits the floor and bounces up. That floor acts as your support. But as the ball shoots upward, it hits the hard ceiling above you and gets forced back down to the floor. No matter how many times you throw the ball up, as long as that concrete ceiling is solid, the ball simply cannot go any higher. In financial markets, a resistance level is that exact price ceiling. It is a specific price point where an asset, whether it's Apple stock, Bitcoin, or gold, repeatedly struggles to push above. Every time the price climbs toward this level, sellers flood the market, pushing the price back down. While it looks like an invisible barrier on a chart, it isn't magic. It is the direct result of human psychology and order flow. To understand why this ceiling exists, we have to look behind the chart at the battle between buyers and sellers. Prices move based on supply and demand. When there are more buyers than sellers, price goes up. When there are more sellers than buyers, price goes down. A resistance level is simply a price point where supply suddenly overwhelms demand. So why does supply suddenly surge at a specific price? There are three main reasons. The first reason is profit taking. Imagine thousands of investors bought a stock at $50. As the stock climbs to $100, many of those investors decide $100 is a fantastic profit. They place automated sell orders at $100 to lock in their gains. When price hits $100, a massive wall of sell orders gets triggered all at once, halting the upward movement. The second reason is psychological round numbers. Human brains love round numbers. Traders naturally cluster sell orders around numbers like $100, $500, or $1,000. These act as psychological barriers where market participants collectively agree that this feels like a fair place to sell. The third reason is anchoring and regret. Imagine a trader bought at $100, but then the stock immediately crashed to $70. That trader spent weeks stressing over their loss, wishing they could just get their money back. They place an order to sell as soon as the stock gets back to $100 so they can break even. When price finally climbs back to $100, a wave of relieved traders sells their shares, pushing the price back down again. Because traders remember that the price failed at $100 in the past, they expect it to fail at $100 in the future. The memory of the market reinforces the resistance level. Now that you understand the psychology, let me show you how to actually find and draw these levels on a live chart. To spot resistance, look for peak highs on your chart where the price moved up, stopped, and reversed downward. These turning points are called pivot highs. When you see two or more pivot highs at roughly the same price level, you can draw a horizontal line connecting them. Two touches give you a potential resistance level, while three or more touches confirm a strong, established resistance level. The more times a price touches a resistance level and bounces off, the more significant that level becomes to market participants. However, here's a crucial secret that professional traders know, but beginners often miss. Resistance is almost never a razor-thin line. It is a zone. Markets are noisy. Price might reach $100.10 one day, $99.80 the next day, and $100.50 the day after that. If you draw a single thin line at exactly $100, you will constantly get confused by small price overshoots. Instead of drawing a single line, draw a rectangle or a shaded band that covers the cluster of candle bodies and candle wicks around that high point. Treating resistance as a price zone rather than an exact number will save you from hundreds of false signals. As strong as a resistance level might be, it doesn't last forever. Eventually, if buyers become aggressive enough, they will absorb all the sell orders at that ceiling. When demand finally crushes supply, the price breaks through the ceiling. This event is called a breakout. When a breakout happens, a fascinating market phenomenon occurs. Old resistance often becomes new support. Let's go back to our house analogy. Imagine you throw the basketball with so much force that it smashes through the ceiling and lands on the second floor. Now, you walk up the stairs to the second floor. That same concrete barrier that used to be the ceiling above your head is now the solid floor beneath your feet. In trading, this is called the role reversal principle. When a stock breaks above a long-standing resistance level at $100, traders who missed the breakout wait for the price to pull back to $100 to buy. Meanwhile, short sellers who lost money during the breakout hurry to close their positions at $100 to break even. As a result, what used to be a ceiling of selling pressure transforms into a floor of buying support. If price drops back down to $100, it often bounces back up off this newly formed support level. When most people learn about resistance, they only think of flat horizontal lines. But in real trading, resistance comes in three distinct forms. The first is static horizontal resistance. This is the classic flat ceiling we've been discussing. It stays at a fixed price point, like $100, regardless of time. It is easy to spot and is widely used across all financial markets. The second is sloping trendline resistance. Markets don't always move sideways. They often trend downward or upward in diagonal channels. In a downtrend, each new price peak is lower than the previous one. If you connect these lower highs with a diagonal line sloping downward, you get a trendline resistance. Every time price rallies up to touch this descending line, sellers step in and push it lower. The third is dynamic resistance, usually using moving averages. Unlike static lines, dynamic resistance moves continuously with every new price bar. The most common way to plot dynamic resistance is using moving averages, such as the 50-day or 200-day exponential moving average. During a strong downtrend, price will often ride below the moving average line, repeatedly bumping against it and bouncing lower. Because the moving average recalculates every day, the resistance level constantly adjusts itself in real time. Now that you know what resistance is, how it forms, and the different types that exist, let's talk about how traders actually use this information to make money. Traders use resistance in three main ways. First, setting profit targets. If you bought a stock at $80 and you see strong resistance at $100, $100 is a logical place to sell and take your profits before the price potentially drops. Second, timing short entries. Aggressive traders look for prices to reach a known resistance zone, wait for signs of weakness, and enter short positions to profit as price drops back down. Third, trading breakouts. Momentum traders wait for price to decisively close above resistance on high volume, buying the breakout in anticipation of a powerful upward trend. However, to survive in the market, you must avoid three common beginner mistakes. First, buying directly into resistance. Buying a stock right as it hits a major multi-month resistance zone is like running headfirst into a brick wall. Always wait for a confirmed breakout or a pullback. Second, ignoring market context. A resistance level in a strong overall bull market is much more likely to break than a resistance level in a deep bear market. Never trade a single line in isolation. Third, falling for false breakouts, also known as bull traps. Sometimes price will poke slightly above resistance for a few minutes, tricking retail traders into buying before violently reversing downward. Always wait for candle closes or volume confirmation to verify that a breakout is real. Ultimately, resistance is simply a visual tool to understand where supply exceeds demand. It's a price ceiling created by profit taking, round numbers, and human psychology. Remember to always draw it as a zone rather than a thin line. And keep in mind that when it finally breaks, it frequently flips to become your new support. Understanding this invisible ceiling is one of the most fundamental skills in trading. But to see the full picture, you also need to understand the floor. I will leave this video right here on how to spot support levels, which will complete your strategy. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.